Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. This is a quick little update. Okay, we know the housewives of Potomac is always having this or that or this or that, but Chris Bassett, who was very active on Twitter, okay, was saying some things about Ray Huger. But y'all know first things first, if you have not done so already, make sure to subscribe to my channel to become our JayBird, and dot. Okay, do not forget to also follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, also on Twitter. If y'all know to like the video, comment in the comment section, and hit the share button, okay? The recent episode of Potomac came on, okay? And it was a little bit boring, a little bit of a filler, okay? But the end scene was of Candace's little congratulations confetti party because she got her other degree, and Chris was around there being just a dutiful husband or whatever. And there was a conversation between Chris and Ray. Now on the screen, it seemed like Ray was just, having casual conversation with Chris. Say he heard that Gizelle wasn't coming because of all the rigmarole, okay, all the flip flopping things going on that Gizelle said of how Chris made her feel, okay? And so we just seen Ray and Chris talking. Now Ray did suggest, do you want to just apologize for how she felt? Not that you did anything wrong, but like just to be the bigger person. Basically, you wanted to say, hey, sorry for how you felt and squash the BS. And Chris said, hell's nah, okay? Chris said, no, don't want to do that. Well, even though we know that I'm sorry, Candace and Karen are in a better place since Karen found out Candace did say she was right creeping and crawling on Ray. They squashed that. They so good. They're building upon their friendship. Well, Chris still felt like, as he said on his Twitter, that he feel like Ray ambushed him. Yes, Chris was on Twitter and he said, okay, on December the 12th at 4:27 p.m., which is on Monday, y'all want to keep saying Candace and I are dragging this out. I was in my house enjoying my wife's party and got ambushed by Ray. Damn right, I was pissed off. Pissed off. Okay? This was a party for my wife, not some bush. Okay? Now, Chris, this is what the show is, sir. Okay, you can't have it both ways. You can't want to be on this show full of petty, foolish things about the reality of your lives, but feel like, oh, my wife's event is off limits. At every event, people have uncomfortable conversations and whatnot. I do feel like you and Ray talking wasn't even a big deal. Ray wasn't loud. It was a one-on-one conversation. But again, Chris can feel like I don't want anybody talking to me about nothing in my house. This is my house, my wife's party, and I got ambushed by Ray. I'm like, ambush is a strong word. Ambush. I don't know about that. Okay. Now again, I'm not saying Chris did not have the right to feel how he felt because when anybody pulls you to the side to have a one-on-one conversation, and if within that conversation it makes you feel some kind of way, you are entitled to feel some kind of way, even if the person's intent was not to piss you off or make you feel uncomfortable in your house at your wife's party. Okay, now people in the comment section say, well, Chris, what do you mean? Okay, so someone said, I honestly don't think he ambushed you, Chris. You were very defensive and it was a bad look. In reality, you should apologize if your actions made someone feel uncomfortable. That's not admitting you were wrong. Your intentions were good, but she took it differently. Now, this is them saying, Ray didn't ambush you and try to force you to admit you did something wrong. Just, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else felt uncomfortable. The same way that Ray pulled Chris to the side to talk and Chris got pissed off. I'm sure Ray didn't intend to piss Chris off, but Chris is feeling his emotion was pissed off fatigue, okay? But again, someone said, I don't think Ray ambushed you, okay? And so Chris replied, so you are clearly slow. Why you gotta be slow? whatever. My actions didn't make anyone uncomfortable. We know that. We all know that nothing you did made Gizelle feel uncomfortable. We all agree on that. He then said, as stated by the uncomfortable person, meaning Giselle said he didn't do anything. Okay. He continued the situation she was uncomfortable with. So what am I apologizing for? That's Chris' whole thing. He don't know why he's saying sorry if Giselle is saying he didn't do anything. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. What I do know is, you know what I'm saying, Ray made Chris feel angry. It may not have been his intent. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna leave that be. Now, okay, people can continue. Ambush, everybody in the comment section kept saying the same thing. Ambushed, ambushed, ambushed. No one felt like it was an ambushable offense. No one felt like, but Chris, it was an ambush. Nobody really agreed with the word ambush, even though we all agree that he did not do anything to Giselle. Okay. He also said, what would you call it? It came out of nowhere, and the producer filmed it on their phone because no one saw that coming. I mean, Ray is an old man. Ray is a gentleman of the elderly age. And I think for him, I don't think he'd be doing stuff for the show. I think Ray was really just talking to Chris. He wasn't trying to film it. So when for Chris to say, oh, the producers filmed it on their phone because no one saw that coming, because he wasn't trying to have a scene. He was trying to just talk to you regularly. Okay. Now one, y'all all mic'd up. So that's what it is. I'm gonna leave that be. But again, this is Chris saying the producers planned that shit because they filmed it on their phone, used a phone camera, the phone footage to show me and Ray talking. Okay. Now, again, someone else, I'm on your side, Chris, but ambush? That's a bit of a reach when Ray was just talking to you as a friend in your own home and one on one. Maybe we need to read the dictionary again. Now, look, I'm not going to play dictionary, okay? I know ambush means to abruptly confront somebody and blah, 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 blah. Because Chris at some point, somebody posted the definition of ambush, okay? Because people kept saying, ambushed, ambush. I don't think it was an ambush. And of course, so let me do the definition of ambush. Make a surprise attack on someone from a concealed position, or confront someone suddenly and unexpectedly with unwelcome questions. But I'm like, is a conversation confronting someone? Isn't a conversation just a conversation? So Chris wants to use the word ambush. Did Giselle have to use the word uncomfortable? No. But everyone wants to use the word that best fits how they felt in a situation. Just saying, okay? Now, Chris replied, I had made it very clear that I think he meant I didn't want to, that I didn't want to talk about any of that bullshit during Kansas event. And out of the clear blue sky, Ray dropped down out of nowhere. Yes, he stopped me from what I was doing to talk about some bullshit and not know, thinking me not knowing the full story, ambush out of nowhere, unexpected. I don't think anyone can say that while you're filming this season that anyone is ambushing you about what everybody talking about this season. I feel like Chris and Ray probably maybe don't talk all the time or whatever, but I do think, someone said, well, hey Ray, go talk to Chris. Wait, Chris, why isn't Gizelle? I heard Gizelle is here because of the whole scuttlebutt about y'all. It was, to me, it was not an ambush. An ambush to me would have been if they would have had cameras placed everywhere and been trying to catch the moment. I just feel like Ray ain't an ambush person. Ray around here just trying to live, trying to make another day. Okay, he's trying to make it to the next age of the year of his birth. He not ambushing nobody, but Chris has a valid reason to feel how he feel about someone coming round him, asking to talk, having a conversation. He felt like, as he said, everyone knew I made it clear I did not want to talk about any of that bullshit at Candace's event. But did Ray know that? Producers might have known. So again, do you are you saying that the producers knew what you did not want to talk about? They then had Ray come talk to you and recorded it on their cell phone. Okay. Again, people again, you handled it better than I would. Well, most would, especially because it was in your home. And Chris said, I like Ray a lot. Good dude. And I would have felt bad later had I cussed him out. So again, he made you feel some kind of way. You took a moment, composed yourself, and did not go off on the old black man in your house. Okay. Now again, ambushed. Ray just made a suggestion, and Chris said, without knowing the full story, wrong time, wrong place. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was reading, the little stuff, what people were saying, and everyone, saying, oh my God, why use the word ambush? Why use the word? And look, I'm going to go to this page. Okay, let's go to Chris's page around here for y'all to see all the people ambushed. Ambush. Chris, was it an ambush? Yes. Okay. Yes, it was. I'm trying to make it bigger. What's as big as gonna get? Okay. So again, I asked what people, but again, ambush. The ambush. Really ambushed. Really ambushed. Really ambushed. Okay. Even someone saying ambush, pull it up, ambush. That's crazy that you would use that word with Ray. And all he did was make a simple suggestion, but it's also kind of describing how Gizelle was feeling that day. Didn't she say she felt uncomfortable with you? I get Gizelle felt ambushed by you that day as well. And then he said, oh, 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 oh. He replied, first, learn all the definitions of ambush, not just what you think it means. Two was second. She couldn't feel that way since a question was posed, can I speak with you? Which she, the man, as were with a yes. Good try though, Chris. Work on your missteps, okay? But again, people put up with the word ambush mean, okay, and all these things. How convenient it was for you to admit more of listed definitions, okay? And then again, confront someone suddenly and unexpectedly with unwelcome questions. Representatives were ambushed by camera crews. Again, ambushed, ambush, ambush. But again, that was the main thing people kept asking. Okay, people kept asking. Now we have other comments here. Chris kind of stopped replying to people at that point in time or whatever, is fine. Okay. I don't think, anyone was like, Chris, you're wrong. You did it to Gizelle. And no one did that. No one did that. But as far as Chris saying, hey, y'all, as far as Chris, because I'm here, even though it's 3 a.m., Chris, saying that he felt ambushed by Ray, his words, not mine. His words, not mine. He felt ambushed. He was upset. He's happy he didn't cuss the Ray ass out. He calmed down and said, wait a minute. I don't want to cuss out old man Ray. I don't want to do it. Not today. No. Okay. He calmed the fuck down. Now I replied and posed a question. And I replied and I said, do you feel, and this is based off him saying, y'all want to keep saying Candace and I are dragging this out. I wish I was in my house enjoying my wife's party and got ambushed by Ray. Damn right, I was pissed off. This was a party for my wife, not no bullshit. Okay? Now, I asked the question. Do you feel like Ray made you feel uncomfortable or upset or just not good when he asked to speak with you one on one? Even though that wasn't his intent, it still made you feel some kind of way, right? Now, the reason I asked that question was because not to say what happened with Ray and uh, Chris is the same as what happens with Chris and Gizelle. I'm not saying Gizelle's accusations on Chris being whatever is the same as Ray. All I'm trying to say is in two separate situations. Because Chris said at one point, where is it at? Let's see, because I wanna make sure that I can say what he said. He said I had made it clear that I did not want to talk to anybody, talk about any of that bullshit during Kansas event. And out of nowhere, yes, he stopped me from what I was doing to talk about some bullshit. So I'm like, okay, so two situations where you and Gizelle stopped, talked. One of y'all asked the other one to talk. You asked her to talk. She said, yeah, we don't know who said, let's go to your room, whatever. But again, someone stopped someone and said, hey, let's talk one on one. And then once that conversation happened, somebody felt some kind of way about the situation. With Chris and Ray, as Chris said, I was minding my business. He stopped me to have this conversation and it made me feel upset. All my point was somebody stopped you to talk. And within that conversation, within that situation, because you were in your home at your wife's party, he pissed you off. And to me, pissed off is an emotion, a feeling, just like being uncomfortable. But as he said, Ray, where is it at? Ray is a good dude. And I would have felt bad if I cussed his ass out. Meaning he know Ray didn't mean no harm. He know Ray's intent was not to piss him off. But Chris has a valid reason to feel how he feels. Now, does anyone feel like Ray should say, you know what, Chris, I'm sorry for upsetting you at your house, at your wife party. It was not my intent. Even though Ray didn't do shit wrong. He didn't do shit wrong. Chris still felt some kind of way. And again, I'm not comparing the two. I'm not defending Gizelle. I'm this team, JD's Corner. Just telling y'all that Chris felt like he was ambushed by Ray. He was pissed off because of Ray talking to him in his house at his white party. Okay, that people are he'd already made it clear he did not want to talk about no bullshit at Candace's event. And here come Ray ambushing him out of nowhere unexpectedly, and it made him upset. It pissed him off. And he was happy he didn't cuss his ass out because Ray's a good dude. Now, we all know for a fact that 9 times out of 10, Gizelle full of shit. We all know this. This is not to defend Gizelle at all. We know this. Everyone knows Gizelle is full of shit 9 times out of 10. But we can also say if Gizelle's saying he made her uncomfortable, even though he did not touch her or say shit, just the situation made her uncomfortable. That was not Chris's intent. Was Ray's intent to piss Chris off in his house by bringing up some bullshit with Gizelle? No, it wasn't. But is anything wrong with saying, you know what, that wasn't my temper, my bad. We cool. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, even on the last episode with Candace saying, well, Chris can't even say sorry. Chris can't even really talk to Gizelle and be around her like that because who knows what she gonna say, because who knew her ass would ever say that my husband made her feel uncomfortable. Now, Gizelle's issue where Chris has a valid reason to not want to say sorry is when Gizelle said he was trying to see if I would be his sneaky link. Because Gizelle went from saying shit like, oh, he didn't do anything. It's just a situation that made me feel some kind of way. But when she said, oh, he was acting trying to test me to see if I'd be his sneaky link. That's a reason for Chris and Candace to be pissed off and say, Gizelle, fuck you forever. For sure. Had Gizelle stuck to, no, I just felt uncomfortable in the situation. That's all. Had she stuck to that, she would not seem like a manipulative, conniving, green-eyed monster bandit that we know that she is, okay? But again, Chris said Ray ambushed him and pissed him off. But Chris also knows that Ray's a good person, okay? He happy to cuss his ass out. Okay, but producers is around here filming shit on their phones. Anyway, y'all, that's all I have. So, in y'all opinion, do you feel like, put in the comment section, do you feel like Ray ambushed Chris? Did Ray ambush Chris in the conversation at the end of the episode of Housewives of Potomac from this Sunday? If you think he did, if you think Ray ambushed Chris, does Ray owe Chris an apology? Okay, I'm just wondering. Anyway, y'all, I gotta go. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good night, a good day, or whatever time it is once you watch this video. Bye.